Hi, everybody. Guess where we are? We're back. We're getting down and dirty, talking art. And I'm Debbie LaPratt and Calibri the artist. And we're the guests this evening. And I'll let you do the rest.
Oh, sure. You're watching us now live on Facebook, WJZZ Cool TV, on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, and Twitter Live.
Yeah, and like, share, and comment. The more shares and the likes and the comments is really great for everybody. So thank you.
Welcome.
So, how was your weekend, Miss Calibri?
It was wonderful and busy.
Yes,
as you know.
Yes.
Debbie and I had a very busy weekend. In fact, that's why we're not having guests today. We wanted to discuss the art shows and exhibitions that we attended, kind of all through the weekend, all through the week. So
and also, it was my birthday Friday.
Yeah. So I wanted to get a bit into touch base on, talk about the art shows and exhibits, but also getting into what the difference is between
craft shows, art shows, and gallery shows.
Yes,
so we have three different categories that we're hoping to talk about today.
Right.
So we're just kind of going to play it by ear. And if anybody would like to call in, the number is 313-355-6018. We open it for comments, artists. If anybody's interested and wanted to maybe be on our show, contact us at Get Down and Dirty Talking Art. On Facebook, you can message us. Any kind of form of art we are looking for, and we'd love to have a discussion with you all.
And again, if you want to call in with your questions again tonight, that's 313-355-6018.
Okay, here we are. Hey.
We had the privilege this week of tuning in to two, and you might have seen a couple on the news, but one in particular called Bonded at Beacon Park. It's an art exhibition, and then a gallery exhibit called Art in Full Bloom.
Art in Full Bloom, yes.
Fine art. So both of us actually were at Beacon Park exhibit, Bonded. Got to see a lot of incredible artwork there.
And then we both visited the Emoji Gallery, which was really amazing. Art was just flying off the walls. Some really, really, really great exhibitions, some great artists, and you got to talk to the artists, and that's what's so cool, is when you actually meet the artists, you get the story. And that's what it is all about, is when you're sharing your story and that person takes your piece of artwork and they take you home with them, and they can always just kind of look at it and relate to it. So that's kind of what we're about today.
Well, what I did notice was with Emoja, which is a gallery.
Yes.
I did notice that we were able to discuss the works a lot more.
Yes.
With the artists there, as opposed to any other traditional setting.
Right.
It was more of not a craft show, but it almost felt like a craft show.
Yeah. Because when I was there, I kind of broke into show mode.
Yeah, that's what
I was like,
say.
Okay, I'm here. That's okay.
Could you tell us the difference? Because you did. I saw you get in the mode, and could you explain to us, the viewers, just period, what is
a craft show is where artists go. You have your tent, your walls, your stock, your weight, your everything, and you usually set up the night before, the morning of, and you have an actual 10 by 10 space to put up, or what would it be? I keep saying distinguish. Display. Thank you. My brain didn't go there. Display all of your artwork. And it's like when you go to a gallery, you only have 3 or 4 pieces. And when you're at an art show, you're there, let's say Saturday and Sunday all day, and you're talking to the customers and you're interacting with the customers. And then you have a thing called a craft show. And a craft show is more, I think we bought something. This is kind of what we would call would be a craft. You could go to Joann's and you can kind of buy it, and you can paint on it and decoupage it or something like that. It's just more a decorative thing, or just more. You can go to Joann's or Michael's. There's nothing wrong with it. And let's say you can buy something there and paint on it, or somebody will maybe sew some cloth or something, or some pot holders or something like that. But it's a way a lot of the artists, that's how I started 30 some years ago. I was at a ceramic class, and my friend goes, "Let's go to a craft show." I said, "What the hell's a craft show?" And she goes, well, you take your stuff and you put it on the table. And that's literally what we did. There was no displaying. There was no nothing. And so, I mean, we paid like $200. I said, this is not cool. It was right before Christmas. And my kids were babies and stuff like that. And then the next year we did it. And it grew a little bit. And I learned about displaying my work. And that's a key thing is how do you display your work? Mm-hmm. Displaying is very important. I mean, I learned so much over the years. And then after I did that, I was doing little decorative ceramic stuff. And then I went into the little Dickens villages, which became very, very popular. I kind of showed Calibri some of my past villages. I mean, I personalized them, lights in the windows, lace, and everything. And they were very, very, I did really good. And then one day I got bored. And then I worked my way into lighthouses, which were really, really great. You know, because Michigan's got the most lighthouses in the United States. I mean, really in the world, there's, I think, 250 on both shores. And a lot of people don't know that. So we have a real history of that.
Well, and I'm sure just connecting with the people, because it may not be a known fact, but, you know, if you're somebody that's it has enough for people to be connected. You know? So I'm sure it contributed to you doing so well. I did want to ask, though, because I know, for me, what I've noticed with craft shows as opposed to gallery exhibitions is, number one, it is a place for customers, kind of anyone, general public, to go and get access to the arts. But with crafts, the price point is
very, very much.
You're going to make sure that with crafts, the price point is
it's more very lower, more affordable kind of a thing, But when you go to an art show, you do get your people, your everyday people who just kind of walk through. I always say when I'm doing my show, I have always a piece that's called Get It in the Booth piece. Mm-hmm. And so they might look at this $1,000 piece, they go, can't afford it, but I got this, and this, and this. Mm-hmm. And displaying is very important. And actually communicating with the customers is like so important. You gotta you just don't sit there on your phone. But you always greet the person and just talk about your work. People like to take home your story. And yes, it's so important, you know. It's very important.
They got our little whatchamacallit queued up, so I do kind of want to discuss one of the pieces that I did have exhibited at Beacon Park.
Yes.
Now this is an art show. This was an art show. It was open to the public. Now,
I call it an art exhibition. Yeah, I call it kind of an art exhibition.
Yeah, well,
where everybody only had 2 to 3 pieces. Exactly. So it was a little different.
So it was a multitude of different artists. So still a variety of artists. Something like a craft show, as opposed to having a set amount of featured artists. It was kind of open. Still juried. I won't say open. Juried. Yeah. But this was one of the pieces that I had there. And again, Debbie and myself both submitted. This is one of the pieces that I had displayed. And I don't really know what to say about it.
It's just go ahead. It's an amazing. It's called the Black Angel.
No, it's just called My Angel.
Oh, My Angel. Okay. What inspired you?
What is this? Can the camera be moved so the mic is not? No, you have to tune in to WJZZ and watch the show.
We're sorry.
Thank you for tuning in, Miss Patricia Baker. She's another incredible artist.
She's an amazing artist.
But this piece was called My Angel. This one is not for sale. The original is not for sale. However, commercial prints are for sale at this time. So you can order commercial prints. Email me at danahanarts@gmail.com. DANAHANARTS@gmail.com. But this particular
I just knocked the microphone over.
Trying to just let them
That's
do
right.
their thing.
Sorry, folks.
But this particular piece was part of an art exhibition, along with many, and artists from all over the world exhibited. So I wanted to make sure we both contributed strong pieces for you to be able to see. With this particular piece, she happens to be black, so it's not just the Black Angel. She just happens to be black, and that's just because black to me encompasses every other color.
Yes.
As opposed to white. With it's pure. There's nothing else that can be touched. Black encompasses.
Isn't black
everything.
and white actually? They consider that no color.
Well, they're values.
Yeah.
They're values. They are values. Two different shades. But as an artist, if you're mixing any colors, you're going to be able to get everything. So she's black. There's that to show to show all inclusivity.
Yeah.
But her wings are all the different colors, and they're starting to fade and kind of melt. And I wanted to. This came from a dream, actually.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it came from a dream, and it's been a while now, so I don't really remember all of the details. But the feeling of it was what stuck with me when I woke up from the dream. But she felt like me. And she just felt like, she was kind of stuck in a world where her colors were fading. She was going through a lot of pain, and her colors were fading, but not all the way. Basically, the color came from her body, but her wings were still vibrant, and she was showing that, and still wanted to be graceful and all that other stuff.
It's powerful. I love this piece. It's
Thank
just,
you.
I like the
Thank
way the color variation, like on the arms and the highlights, and she just looks like to me, she looks like she's peaceful.
That's what I wanted to show.
She looks like she's peaceful.
Grace.
And, very much grace and things,
And as Roger pointed out, the exaggerated lines. I love lines. Lines and color are kind of what I'm known for, is just different bold colors and exaggerated curves and lines. So I wanted her to have a big old booty.
She's got a nice shaped booty. And I like the way her knees and the legs and the arms, and just it's like I'm waiting for her just to take her arms and just just fly off. Just gonna fly.
Like.
That's what it feels like. Yeah. And so I'm just waiting for her just to fly out the window. Which is a very, 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 very elegant piece. She just it's and I love the red, and the red just impacts the piece. I love red. Red is just one of the most impactful colors I think there is.
It is a color that a lot of artists, we were talking, actually, Dawood Shabazz, another artist, we were talking his piece sold.
Oh, I know.
I love his piece. So I was happy it sold, but I wanted it for sure. But he had a pop of red in his, and he actually touched on how many artists a lot of times are kind of afraid to use red.
You're kidding.
It's so
I didn't
bold.
know that.
Well, because it's kind of like once you put it in there, it's bold. It's bold. It's really nothing you could do with it, and you really kind of have to know where to put it. And I love red. I love putting it all throughout the pieces because I feel like it makes it pop. So.
Right. Yeah.
But I wanted to show that and really get into, I guess, even pricing art.
That's a whole different can of worms there. We're all learning that. And then we also learned that we all have to sign our artwork on the front, and also we're supposed to date it and stuff like that, but always
well, signing it, and really you sign it where you want to sign it. Wherever the camera is, you sign it where you want to sign it. But that's something where, again, as we get into the different types of shows,
yes,
it really shows you the different types of markets.
Right.
With an art with a craft show, for instance, where you might have the general public, with an art show and an art exhibition, what you're really getting into is collectors.
Is the collectors, yes.
And those are people that are purchasing art for the sake of profiting from it, whether they sell it or not.
Right. They're not just buying. They buy it because they like it, but they're also buying because they look at this as an investment.
Exactly.
Yes, and
like,
we're learning about that.
You might have people that'll buy a car to get around, and you might have people that'll buy antique cars that hold value.
Yes.
So that's what a collector is.
Yeah.
Now, a collector. Calibri, the artist, does not make art for collectors. If you happen to be a collector purchasing art, that's wonderful. I want to encourage everyone to get into it. And, of course, I create art for the average person to be able to have
That's what I kind of do.
But, I don't really... I make art, and if you like it, then they're the person who deserves it. If you're going to tell me where to sign it and how to put it, and can you put the date? I didn't make this for you to make money off of.
Right. I do it because I want people to enjoy it and take it home and smile. Now if she was at a craft show, an art show, she would have maybe this original, and then she would have her prints underneath it. She'd maybe have limited edition prints, or she'd have her commercial prints. And it would be something that anybody can take home and enjoy and watch and stuff like that. That's what you would do at a craft show. An art show. But there are artists who do sell originals, like in Ann Arbor and at Art Seats and Beats. There was a guy that had some amazing originals, and he was selling them. Okay. Then you have the other people who got their originals, but they make the giclées, or they make the canvas covers and stuff like that.
Giclées for our viewers?
Yes, maybe you can explain it a little better than me. Is that
as far as I know it's prints. Now
but I think it's a real high end with all the.
Well, It's the same as the archival pigment?
Yes.
Prints.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yes.
basically, that's a fancy schmancy way of saying that the materials don't break down as quickly over time, so it makes it
like
more
they say, it stays
collectible.
about 200 years.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
It's as opposed to just like a poster, you know.
Right. Right. Yeah. You know. Then you got the artist who, I know this couple's going to be on, and he is Carl Lundgren, and he makes posters, and he makes all music posters, and I mean he's been making them for like 40 years, and he goes to the art shows and the craft shows and the music things, and he sells them because he keeps reproducing them, and that's just there's so many different venues of ways you can sell art, collect art, buy art, and stuff like that. Like my pieces, I don't buy it for collection. I buy it. I want people to buy it and enjoy it and take it home. Mm-hmm. And then when they come into my booth, they'll look around and I don't know. And I said, what was the first piece that caught your eye? I says, that's usually the piece that you should take home and enjoy. And I always say, art doesn't have to match the sofa. It is like one of my biggest pet peeves. I had many years ago, I knew somebody that she had this beautiful picture. She goes, but the blues aren't right. I'm going, but do you like the picture? Yeah, but the blues aren't right. I'm like, oh, you just can't. Some people just think it all has to match. But art has to make you smile, has to make you happy, and just an experience, you know.
It brings out whatever you like about the piece. I mean, you should like art.
Yeah.
You know, you should just like it. However, well, even if it makes you mad, even whatever it pulls out of you that you need to have, it's that. Yeah. Like Roger was saying out there, because our station owner, Mr. Pennsylvania, you know, he kept kind of, and I caught him, kept looking at the piece, you know, but he said that he'll go to a piece and, you know, kind of step away from it, come back to it, step away from it, come back. Whatever calls you, for whatever reason it calls you, you need to have it with you. You know, those are the reasons why you should ultimately get into art. And if you're going to go to places, something to just make you feel good and reasonable price, go to a craft show.
Right. Or an art show. Or an art show. Art show. Mostly art. You're not going to find anything like what we do at a craft show. You know,
that's
you're going to find at a fine art show. It would be like the Ann Arbor or Birmingham or Palmer Park.
But there's nice stuff. And I say the craft shows because it's something for your pocket and maybe, you know, just decorative.
Right.
When you want to start getting into investing, making art, and there's still reasonable prices. For instance, at Umoja Fine Arts, there were pieces surprisingly.
With some beautiful pieces.
Yeah. But Darren Darby pieces, which I would have never expected, there were quite a few that were going for about $500 under. He did have a price point for everybody, which is it's not always hard to find. A lot of times you might be starting at.
I think we missed our.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh,
it's fine. But if you are getting serious about getting into investing in art, then that's when you go ahead and you look into your art shows, and there are galleries that do. Payment plans.
Right, yeah, Emoji does a payment plan.
Yes,
which is really great for anybody out there. I don't know if anybody's out there and wants to call in and talk about your experience of maybe going to an art show. What art shows, maybe your favorite art show, or maybe what's your favorite gallery. Our number is 313-355-6018. It's Getting Down and Dirty, Talking Art at WJZZ, Cool Jazz TV.
Yep. Tune in live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter Live, and Facebook.
And comment, share, and like.
Yes, please.
So So here we are.
So Debbie, if you can, I want to get into your piece. I love this piece. Can I
see it? I don't know if they can see it.
Here, I just want to put it up here. Oh, it's heavy.
It's a heavy piece.
But
okay, this piece is from the city of Detroit. It's my skyline, and I'm very proud to say that Kevin Orr, who helped bring the city back to Detroit, owns a piece similar to this. My work has advanced over the years, and I was just so honored that it's hanging in Washington, D.C. And when we were doing this show, I decided I wanted to do something that represents the city. I love the city of Detroit. Everybody knows I miss Detroit. And what I did is on my colors on this is called Gilder's Paste. This is something brand new that I just started doing. It is actually, it's like a little paste, and then this is glazed. This is all glazed, and I have my own technique. I mean, it's like I make my pieces, they're raw clay, And then when they're dry, I glaze them, and then I take a sponge and I wipe them off so I get that organic kind of look kind of thing. And each piece was handmade. I cut it out. It took me quite a while to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. Then I fired it. And then I put the gilder's paste on, and I just started blending. And I never know what it's going to turn out like. That's what's the fun. Like when you guys are painting, you know, do you know what your colors are going to turn out like? You just kind of paint and see what you like,
no,
or
I know what they're gonna. But it's but that's paint. It's different from that's why I love your craft because the skill that it comes to, like you really don't know. You know, you kind of going in blind, so to speak. So you might decide that you want a teal build, and then it comes out like, wait a minute, that's not what.
Yeah, and then I'll just put some more over it and stuff like that. So I've really advanced in my adding the colors, and I think it adds a lot to it. And this piece here, it says the Motor City. It is in downtown Detroit. It is great. Sorry, guys. It is a great big, huge, I can't really call it a manhole cover, but it's on Broadway. It's on the sidewalk. It's got the Motor City, the big Detroit, and I can't remember. What's the other one? There's 4 of them, and it's like got the roadways of Detroit. When I found it, I just kind of stood there. Because what I do is I run around the city with my clay, and I actually do impressions. Now, this is an impression of the city. That would be a little hard to do. But, like, I'm going to show them this one. Yeah. So let's show them this one. This is, now I want to see how many people know this. Whoops, where am I doing it? Okay. How many people know this building or where this is from? This is from the J.L. Hudson's. Now, the story behind this is the building was already down when I decided to do it. So I had to do a lot of research. I actually found the logo, and I actually, okay, how I do it is someplace I got a mold. Okay, what this is actually the mold that, I don't know if you guys can see it well, but this is actually the mold. And what I do is I put the clay on here and I press it on there. This is what you call a negative, and then you come up with a positive. But to get this, I had to make this original piece right here. This is the piece that I actually had handmade. I finished it at 2 o'clock in the morning. It took me like 5 hours just to do this part. I was in my basement doing the happy dance. There was nobody around. I couldn't call nobody. I did go out on Facebook, of course, and and stuff like that. And so this is actually also enhanced with the gilder's paste. And then I decided to add the history. And it's like just brings like the whole piece together with the history of like the Hudsons and stuff like that, which everybody knows, like the old.
Because you can't really appreciate the colors, but on this screen here, I wanted you guys to see.
This is kind of a coppery thing. And also, how I sign my work is there's always a fingerprint. And on the back, this piece you can't see, but on the back of my pieces, I'll have fingerprints because I'm hand pressing them in. And also, like when I'm at the art show, people come in with their kids. And I always say, Mom, don't touch it. And I go, is it all right if the kids take and find the fingerprint on the piece? So they just think it's so cool. Then I have this little box of bits and pieces, and they get to pick out a little piece of art. So they get to take a little treasure home. So it's just kind of like my way of giving back to the kids and the moms and the kids.
It's beautiful. Just seeing it, it looks like a plaque. It really does look, and I don't know if you can see just even where she has
this is like
details behind it.
All the different history.
The original little emblem is here too.
Right.
And it's a bit of nostalgia. Debbie's work is quite collectible, although you can get it at an affordable price.
The prices are going up, though.
But it is quite collectible for this reason. I mean, Hudson's isn't here anymore.
No, it isn't. I'm working on Crowley's. I
I
got it. I got Crowley's. They'll be coming. A lot of the tigers and stuff like that. Da, 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 da. Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you. But that's kind of my work. But it's kind of grown. I'm always growing, and I'm always, like 2 weeks ago, I actually drove through downtown with my cousin, took photographs, and found some new treasures. And I actually did 2 impressions, and we left a little dust on the building. So it was a little bit of my thing. It's really weird at one of these towns. I'm not going to say exactly what town, but I went in their town. They had a really cool clock. It was in the middle of the town, and I did an impression. And nobody said anything. And I go back 3 months later, and they got a cover over the clock. I mean, over the detail of the little design. I'm going, for real? A little bit of dust on there. All I got to do is spray. So it's just interesting, but I'm always driving through, looking, always finding my treasures. Always, there's so much. I tell people, look up, look down, look always around.
That's what I was looking for. Your tagline.
My tagline, yes. There's just so much, there's so much out there. It's like there's so much art, and a lot of it is from. I found out we're going to have him on. It's from the Parducci Society of who designed a lot of the famous architecture in Detroit and throughout the city and the country and stuff like that. It's really amazing. It's just this gentleman had a little webinar, and I got to sit in on it, and I was like, oh God, I want it all. I was like, I had to control myself because I was ready to hop in the car and go get some, but it was like some really, really interesting stuff. So art forms are in so many ways. It's just not paintings, pottery, ceramics. It's in clothing, jewelry, like the jewelry, fiber, wood, even music, dance, poetry. What else would you say? Making food. Food is like a very big form of art.
Culinary arts. I feel like anything that you're using, you have your one scientific part of your brain and your one creative.
What do they call it? What's the creative? I know. I think it's anybody know what's the creative side? I think it's the right side. I have the whole creative side. I don't have the brain.
I think anything you're using for your creative side, is art. Anything that you're using to express emotions, something from you. That's for me. Art, literally ART, alternative release therapy.
I never thought of it like that.
It's just something. It's a way to release something else. A lot of things that maybe words don't express, we're able to express through the arts. I think that's why we gravitate toward it, whether it's straight up and down visual, or whether it's food, just taste.
Oh God, yes. Or that wine we had at her house. We got to do this whole wine tasting. Learned about the wines and you smelled it in the aroma, and then it was.
She said, right is creative. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Baker. We all know we're gonna have to have her on and talk about the wines. It was so creative. It was just very, very creative, and just anything. I look at art in so many ways. Poetry, like my friend's writing a book. I can't write for nothing. I can't even do. My cousin's doing poetry. I'm like, yeah, okay. See dog run, see spot go. That's about my creative, But that's exactly what it is, So we have, it's like there's so many artists, and we're trying to help the artists grow and just experience art. What was it that I said that Isaiah had on his thing today about what was that question that we were talking about? What was
And I just knew it. It was basically what problems do you run into as an artist, or what I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
But it was pretty much that. What issues do you run into as an artist?
Because I said unorganized, and some people said they were scared. They were like not being, they didn't feel that they were good enough, or they weren't creative enough. And I look at people saying, well, I can't do that. I said, you can do anything you want.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. What makes an artist, because a lot of people, the average person will say, well, look at, something like, I can't do that. I get that all the time. I can't do anything like that. And without trying, That's why I love teaching art.
Yeah.
Especially as an expressive therapy, because that's all it is. Technique,
anybody can learn technique. Anybody can learn technique. You can go to a craft a class and learn technique, but when it comes right from the heart, I dream about stuff in the middle of the night. You said you had a dream, like my Elegant Lady collection. I just like, I wake up at 3:00 in the morning and I'm like, oh God, I could do this. It's like, that's what it is. It comes from the soul. People, I think, are scared to venture out of their box. I think they're just scared. They don't think they're good enough or something, and it's not if you're good enough. Just try it. Just, and you feel so good when it's done.
Yeah.
You feel so good. You feel like enlightened, and it's like every time I start my year, I'm going, okay, what am I going to make new? I always got to push myself and create something like this whole thing, and with the Gilder's paste is really enhancing my work. I'm taking some of the old pieces that I thought really looked good, and then I add the Gilder's paste to it, and I go, whoa. It's kind of interesting, and I always have a story about a lot of my work, and people like to hear the story, like in Calibri talking about she had the dream and things like that. Not everybody does, but customers like to take home a little bit of you. That's what they want to do. Is when they're taking that piece home and they're looking at it, they're going to be thinking of Calibri the artist. It's like, oh, this is really cool. Because you've got 2 other pieces that we're going to talk. We want to talk about it on our next thing. The other 2 pieces. Yeah, because we should be coming up with I think our break.
We can go ahead and
we can talk about.
Remind our viewers.
Yes. And please call in too. Yeah. It's 313-355-6018. Like, share, comment, Facebook. Please go on Instagram. Please go on YouTube. Yes. And like us, comment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
WJZZ.
Talking art on WJZZ Cool TV.
Yes. And Debbie and Calibri, we are here.
Yeah. But for the other pieces, well, we just wanted to showcase other artists, just artists, period. I'm glad that you touched on some of the things that hinder artists. Artists, I say that loosely because you just choose to do that as a profession. But really anybody that decides to create, is ultimately an artist. But if you're brave enough to do it and make money off of it and use it as a profession, then kudos.
Yeah. But a lot of people don't think it's worth. They're not good enough to sell it. And it's like, no, it's like just. See,
how did you get over that hump? And it's like, how did you know?
It took me a long time. It was like I just kind of went there and we just started selling. And I have the gift of gab. And we went to art shows and we had a 0 art show where we didn't sell nothing. But you look at it, and I always look at it as I might have not sold anything today, but who did I meet and what did I learn?
Well, I mean, because there are so many people that will create or have art in them, but will say, well, I'm not an artist, or I'm not a singer, I'm not a cook, I'm not this, and we'll be afraid to even start, or will secretly kind of like be in the closet, painting about it, but they dare show it.
I don't know.
Dare set a price, there's actually a young lady, and I'm sorry, I need to respond to you in my inbox. I saw the message, I haven't responded, but she actually almost popped her cherry. It was almost like coming out of the closet. Like, she's like, I just drew this. I don't know if it's any good, but I wanted to, and it was wonderful. I critiqued it, and she's been cranking out these pieces since then. So, just, I guess, how do you know that this is what you should be doing? Or
I always say, how do you feel like prices? I've always been able to go spot on. I don't know why, just something that I can look at this piece and go. But now I'm getting with my pieces. I was underselling them, and I realized that because I was looking at and it's like, wait a minute, my pieces are now more valuable, and I'm working a lot harder, and I'm actually creating like the world, like recreating history and the thing, and I've gotten a lot braver, and I was disappointed. And like, even if, let's say I made $200, my mom would go, if you sat home that day, would you have made $200? But you look at who you meet, who you talk to. I have gotten met some of the most fantastic people from all over the United States. Different artists, and like I met Calibri, I'm with the Detroit Fine Arts Breakfast Club, and just the experience being with the artists, the energy the artists give out is just, it's good. And it's supporting each other.
I always try to be encouraging because I knew. I've been drawing and painting and just kind of being creative ever since I was a little kid. My mom will tell you, and we joke even about the radio show, because that was the running joke my entire life, that I would sit in the bathroom in the mirror and talk.
You're kidding.
To the mirror.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I love
show,
it.
As I was getting dressed, I was in the bathroom practicing. I said, well, I was preparing. But I looked at it as, and I tell people, if people like it and they're willing to pay you for it, then then it's art.
And Patricia said here, what is my challenge?
Challenge is what pieces to submit to an exhibition.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess mine has always been, depending on what the crowd is going to be like, kind of familiarizing yourself with the type of exhibition, the space.
Yeah.
City.
That's a good question. Wow.
If you have a feel for the other artists that are going to be part of it, but I don't know. I would go with my hits, the ones that I like.
That's what I kind of do. Is I kind of like, well, I went because we were downtown Detroit, and I thought Hudson's, everybody knows Hudson's. They're rebuilding it in the cityscape. I was going to do my lady collection, and I thought, oh, I'm still not there with it. And I just thought everybody can relate to this kind of thing. Yeah. So it's like, and it's a lot depends on too pricing. There was a whole factor on pricing. Didn't we talk about it? That one gentleman that had it so low, and this is
yes.
That is a tough thing. Like sometimes people actually how many hours and time and stuff like that, and it's I don't know. I just kind of know what it.
I don't think so. Price, and I don't think so. You charge what you're worth, at least.
Right. But I think we have to. We got our blue light. Do we have to?
Huh?
There's a blue light. Oh, that the blue light went out. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
You like squirrel?
Yeah, I squirrel. I always squirrel. Everybody knows that.
I actually had a Kaepernick piece that I originally was going to submit. I have not showcased this yet, though. I haven't showcased it. I wanted to, my angel, I want her to be on display for I want her to kind of tour for a second before I start getting to my other pieces. But the Kaepernick piece, I thought it would be fitting because it's downtown Detroit, but also giving it,
Hi! Thank you.
I didn't want it to be destroyed, number one, defaced, given the climate, racial climate. You never know who's going to be mad at something like that. And with it being an outdoor exhibit or display,
right,
it's too easy for people to come and deface artwork, which is a thing.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you just go from your gut. I think don't put stuff out there with the intention to sell. Put it out with the intention of getting your brand out and explaining your work.
I think your brand is really important.
Then sell, But if it doesn't, just put your best foot forward. Just keep creating your best work
and also getting your brand out there is so important. About business cards. I could do a whole show about business cards. Yeah. It is so important to. When you're having a business card, you want to make sure it's big enough to read. And if I'm picking up this card and your name is on there with your phone number and stuff, okay, what do you do? What do you do? I'll take that card home and I won't remember what you do. It's always, if you're going to do a business card, put some of your artwork on there someplace, on the back, on the front, or something, so that when you're taking that business card home, that person can look at it and says, oh, that's right. That person made that beautiful painting that I like. But they might not be the one they want, but they might still can remember that's what the piece, because I've picked up thousands of business cards and I've learned. And make sure that the print is big enough, because you got these little tiny print that, even, like people even have good eyes or look. It's just really important about. That's also a branding.
Yeah,
that's also a branding. It is a branding.
I like that you touch on that too, because as artists, we're not always.
They're not always there. That's right.
Myself included. So you do have to keep that in mind. At least with the simplest part. If nothing, you could do the advertising. You're visual.
Yes,
we're visual. So
very
nothing
visual.
Else, dress like an artist. Have your business cards out, but just leave an impression.
Yes,
an impression.
Always greet the customer. Always greet the customer. Hi, how you doing? Sometimes you can tell if they don't want to be, like an art show. You can tell they don't want to talk to you. And so I just, hey, how you doing? I'm over here if you need anything. And sometimes I'll go up to them and say, hey, can I tell you about that piece?
Well, I agree with you, but I'm only saying that this is art. Some tips for artists to receive, but keeping in mind that many, many artists are introverts.
Oh, they are very much so.
So it's a boundary. I'll say that. It's. If you can't do anything else,
smile and nod.
Smile, greet a customer, have your work, even if it speaks for yourself. Now, you might not be the type of person to run and be, hey, how you doing? Let me tell you this, that. That's rare for artists. A lot of times artists are able to create such in-depth and beautiful works because they're tormented.
Right.
So
it's a lot is from the
really
emotion, the depth of their emotion.
You might get turned off from art. You might like the work, and you're talking to him, he crazy.
What are we talking about? Like the artist in Detroit?
We won't name it.
Yeah, but he just doesn't like talking to people, and it's like, okay, and it's okay.
And people, if you see artists being weird, we're weird.
Yeah.
You know, we're weird. Don't be offended about it. If you see an artist that does not talk, that's just flat out now mute, this is how we express ourselves for a lot of us. So don't be weirded out by it. Don't take offense.
Don't be scared of it.
You know,
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can always go to their website, Facebook, or it's something like that. It's but yeah, some artists are very shy. Some artists don't want to talk, and then
I was very, very shy. I was very shy, like how you said that you used to be shy growing up, and I couldn't see it, but I was the same. I used to just kind of, I guess, talk to people in mirrors, you know. But I was very introverted. I was very to myself for a long, long time, and what started getting me out was kind of couldn't take people being bullied. You know, I was always kind of the person that would kind of I don't want to say the bullies, but I was always the person that just wouldn't stand for like injustice, you know. So you would see me kind of having a voice throughout time, and then that translated to, I don't know, just having a voice. Period. But I don't like being out. I'm very reclusive when it comes down to painting. That's one of the things I struggle with with an artist is I will go into these modes where I just want to be in. You know, especially if I'm painting and I get into work mode, I'll be in work mode and I won't want to come out. You know, I don't want to take phone calls. I don't want to talk, you know.
Oh, Rosemary, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Rosemary Summers, everybody.
She is one of our amazing artists.
Yes,
and Pat Baker and things. We have some really great. I'm really honored to know a lot of these people.
Yeah.
We got some
great talent.
Great
talent. Detroit talent.
Great. Oh, Detroit. Oh, yeah. And if anybody's out there, we're here.
Yeah.
Come see us. You know.
Speaking of Detroit talent, would you like to start? Would you like to showcase some of the artists' work that we?
Oh yes,
brought?
yes.
We're starting off because he's from
Don't take this down.
Africa. Have some Detroit talent here.
Yes.
So how should this go?
We'll I don't think I brought the other one, so we'll just kind of, you hold one and I'll hold one. Okay. These are from Dora Kelly.
Yes.
She gave them to me as a birthday present, so I was very, very excited about them. I think they're called pours.
Yes.
You know, and it's kind of neat because you can hang it any way you want. You know, it's kind of it's to me it kind of looks like a storm or something like that, or like the sea and the ocean, and this looks like under the water. You know, like I'm waiting for the fish to fly by and stuff like that. Yeah. But her name is Dora Kelly. She's from the Detroit Fire Arts Breakfast Club, and she does other kinds of work too. I know she does. She does all kinds of painting.
She does all types of painting. She does landscape. She does a bit of portraits. She does oils, acrylics. You know, just a bit of everything.
Right.
I love her pours because again, we talked about having things that are reasonably priced.
Right.
And usually when she does the pours.
Yep.
And some might consider these kind of crafts too. This is something, you know. But there's something that most people can afford. She does smaller series of these, and these are ones that you can kind of match up with your house. So we talked about that a little bit earlier in the show, being able to match things with your furniture and whatnot.
Remember, art doesn't have to match the sofa.
Well, but see, what I love about her work is that she does create some pieces
that if somebody does want it to match your house. Yeah. So those are Miss Dora's. We just happen to have it. It's an acrylic pour. So this is my birthday present. I just thought I would just showcase, just show some of the different variety of art. Now, Calibri's got a really cool piece. Now, who is this guy?
Let me just double check before I badger his name. I can never get the last name right. Mungulira. He's from East Africa. Speaks French and all that other stuff. But he has...
I don't think the easel will work.
Yeah. I was just going to hold it.
That is very cool.
So... this first piece translates to man playing the Mangbedo harp. It's like it's something in French. So man playing the Mangbedo harp. But
is this oil colors or is this acrylic?
It's acrylic.
Very
it's acrylic,
nice.
But he manipulated them kind of like you would in oil.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all on Facebook Live. But I like it. I like the simplicity of it. I love paintings up against black backgrounds here, and as you can see, it's the trees and everything. It just makes the colors kind of pop and stand out.
And I like
So,
how he adds the color to enhance the the
yeah.
skin and stuff like that. And the guy looks like he's just enjoying what he's doing.
That's what I was gonna say. I love the expression on his face.
Yeah, he's just like,
he's just
hey,
happy to be doing
I'm
his
happy to do
thing.
it,
Yeah.
And so, how did you get his piece?
This is actually a friend of mine represents him. So I've met him a couple times via Zoom, but he speaks French, and it's
my
all
God.
that he's in Africa. He's in East Africa. And she has a few of his pieces, and right now I'm kind of I guess like a liaison. So there's a lot of art coming through me right now, but this is one of the pieces that.
Now, is that
I
piece for sale?
It is. It is for sale.
And how do we get a hold of you in case he does want to sell it?
Well, you can email Danahan Arts, DANAHAN ART @gmail.com, or just hit me up on the Get Down and Dirty Talking Art.
Right. So that's one of the pieces. Or you can go to.
Because he got the camera loaded up right here, so they can get kind of a better view.
You got it?
But I liked his expression and just the colors.
Right.
But there's that one, and then it's the same artist. But I like this piece. Now, this was actually displayed at Hannon Center as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I like this one as well because of the colors.
Can you see it? Yeah, there we go.
And what is this? View of how beautiful the world is.
Is this his too?
No, A View at Truth. Yes, this is him.
Wow.
So A View at Truth is the title. And it's, I'm sorry, I bumped you in the titty. It's a view of how beautiful the world is.
I like the way he's got the splashes of colors.
Yes, yes. It almost reminds me of paradise, and I think that's why I like it. This is acrylic as well. I don't have the
very cool
dimensions on there, but I love that one.
And I love the way the trees. It's probably in Africa. With the trees and the birds and stuff. Is this acrylic
the
or
texture in the clouds? It's acrylic, but again, doesn't it look like oil? How you did it? So, like just the texture in the clouds, the swirls, and it's blended as you get more towards the water. But up here, just more swirls, more texture.
I could just see me sitting behind there, just looking out and having a drink and looking under the water. And here's my flowers in front of me, or the really vibrant plants and things. It's a very nice piece.
The strokes coming up. I just love this piece.
And this one is also for sale?
This one is for sale as well.
You can
Danahan Arts or Get Down to Dirty Talking Art. Hit me up.
You can message us.
Hey, Facebook Live.
Hey! So has anybody, out there have any suggestions, want to ask us any questions, please call in, please. We'd love to talk to you. We just want your opinion. 313-355-6018. We're open for any kind of comments, any kind of suggestions, questions.
Yes,
what you like, what you don't like. Maybe you don't like the piece, one of the pieces, or even critique the piece. Would be very cool. We'd love to hear what a customer might, or somebody out there might say, hey, why did you paint it? Why did you put it red? Why didn't you do it purple or something?
Yeah. And that's funny you said that because I'm actually doing, so the angel is played out, right?
Yeah.
It's not that it's played out, but she's beautiful, but as an artist, the more you work, the more you grow.
Yeah.
So even where I was at with this piece, I'm much more talented now, just working.
How long ago did you do this piece?
This has been a couple years now.
Oh, really?
This has been a couple years now. So even now, like when I look at it, how you look at works like, oh, this is out of place.
I know. I look at my old work and go, what the heck?
But there are pieces that I'm working on still for this series, and that's how I'm able to see how much better it is. But I felt the need to do a purple piece. In this series, kind of like an evolution from the angel, where she evolves into a queen.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Have you started that?
I've done the rough sketch. I'm doing the king first, which you see is in my hall.
Right.
And I'm working on him, but there's a queen to match him. And she's going to be in purple. So where they're all red and gold, and the king is red, but he has a lot more gold with him, and he has gold foil and jewels and just all this stuff. The queen has to be much more, than that. So she's going to be purple and royal and regal. And I usually don't paint in purple. I usually do so much red. So I'm excited too.
But isn't purple a duration of red, or is it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's, red and blue.
Okay.
But it's,
Yeah. See, some people might not have known that.
Well,
you know,
I don't usually mix colors.
Okay. Okay.
So for me to even be going, I don't know. I like rainbow colors.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and
how big is she going to be?
Oh, she's gonna be huge. She's gonna be bigger than the king. So the king is.
Well, of course, it's the queen.
Yeah.
You gotta have the queen. It's gotta be the queen of the.
This one is 4 feet by 4 feet.
Wow.
The king is 5 feet by something. He's a little bigger.
Yeah.
And then the queen, I'd like for her to be significantly larger. I'll have to do her on a roll. She won't be able to fit in and out of the house.
Right. Yeah, she's not gonna be fit in any of our cars.
Yeah. No. But,
So I gotta thank everybody. And please, anybody got any questions? 313-355-6018. And we are looking for sponsors that might want to sponsor and be a part of it. Even clothing sponsors, if somebody wants to maybe be our sponsor and dress us, and maybe earrings. Makeup is another that's a form of art.
Definitely oh my God,
yes. And if you'd like to be on our show, we'd love to have you on our show. You know how to hit us up. Go to Get Down and Dirty Talking Art, and you can message us, and we would love to catch up with us. We're at the coolest radio station. It's called WJZZ, Cool Jazz TV, and we are so excited to be here.
Yes,
and it's like I have the perfect host. We just kind of intermix and just kind of match and things like that. It's like so fun, and our viewers, thank you everybody for out there. Remember, comment, like, share, go to YouTube, subscribe. You do that little thumbs up on YouTube, and also make a neat comment.
Mainly, I'd like for you to like and comment.
Comment is so important.
Just because, again, our feedback comes from you. But we want to make sure we discuss the things that are important to you.
Yeah.
And as artists, we get pulled aside and have all these questions, not just from artists. I don't want you to feel the need to only comment or have questions for just artists. Average people, the regular people.
That's right. Everyday person.
My neighbor asked me, what's the difference between this and that? The stuff that's painted on my wall next door to me. What's that?
Even murals.
Call me on the show and ask me about it, so I can tell you all about it.
So, we're looking for everyday person. You got some comments about art. You like, even at the GIA or something like that, or, like why Picasso is famous versus, I don't know, Calibri.
That's something we can talk. That's definitely another conversation.
Yes,
that's a wonderful conversation to have.
So that's just some of our things. And next week, I think we're going to have Amanda Koss on as our artist. She is a very, very good abstract artist, and Amanda and I have quite a story about how we met each other. But I'm not going to go into. I'm going to say that for next week. It's really cool. It's really cool, and Amanda's just a really cool person, and she does some very, very neat art, and she's coming out. She's really is. She's really coming out of her box.
Is. And she
really
had
cool.
Pink hair and big.
And she looks so cool. So it's just like, remember WJZZ, Cool Jazz TV, and Get Down and Dirty Talking Art, Facebook. Please like us, comment, go to YouTube, thumbs up, comment, share. Watch us next week, Wednesday at 8 o'clock. We will be here.
Thank you for tuning in.
And we got one more minute.
We got 30 seconds.
30 seconds. All right. So
thank you again for tuning in.
Thank you, everybody. And we're always
on a positive note.
Yes.
Positive note. Smile. Just
That's
smile.
right. And
everybody,
be happy.
We've had a lot of losses. We've had a lot of gloomy days, a lot of gloomy weeks, but we're going into sunshine. And if you don't go into sunshine, then make it on the days that you can and just smile.
Right. And just be grateful for every day you got and every day you wake up, and find something in your life to make you happy that day.
That's it.
And if it's just drinking a coffee, say, this is making me happy. And then you can go look at your famous picture, somebody's famous painting, and stand there and smile and go, I really like that. And look at it and say, why do you like it? And really look at the depth of it. Mm-hmm. So, just kind of really study it. And then call us and tell us what you like.
All right,
so thank you, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.